My dear friends, if you're listening to this today, I want you to know that what I am about to share comes not only from decades of medical understanding, but also from the deep concern of someone who has seen far too many good people suffer simply because they didn't know what they were putting into their bodies. Food is medicine, but sometimes the very foods we think are nourishing us may be silently causing harm, especially in our golden years. As we grow older, our bodies change in subtle and powerful ways. The digestive system becomes more sensitive. The kidneys and liver, those quiet heroes that have worked tirelessly for us all our lives, begin to tire. Blood sugar, blood pressure, and medication interactions all become delicate balances. And the truth is, some fruits, though natural and seemingly innocent, can tip those balances in dangerous directions. I know it sounds surprising. After all, fruits are nature's sweets, filled with color and flavor, often praised for their vitamins and fiber. But for seniors, especially those over the age of 65, not all fruits are created equal. Today, I want to gently but firmly talk to you about 7 fruits you must avoid, or at the very least, treat with deep caution. And among them, there is one that stands out as the most dangerous of all, the one that, if possible, you should never touch again. I don't say this lightly. I say it with conviction backed by science and experience. Let us begin with grapefruit. This fruit may look harmless sitting in your morning bowl beside a banana or apple, but for seniors, grapefruit can be a silent saboteur. Grapefruit interacts with a group of enzymes in the liver known as CYP3A4. These enzymes are responsible for metabolizing more than half of all prescription drugs. Studies published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal have shown that grapefruit can dramatically increase the concentration of certain medications in the bloodstream. Blood pressure medications, statins, antidepressants, and even drugs for irregular heartbeat can become dangerously potent when mixed with grapefruit. One study found that the risk of severe side effects, including sudden death, rose significantly for patients who consume grapefruit regularly while taking these drugs. I have personally seen patients land in the emergency room with dizziness, muscle breakdown, and heart arrhythmias, all traced back to a few sips of grapefruit juice. It is not worth the risk. The second fruit I want to discuss is pineapple. Now I know it is sweet and tropical, and many of you may enjoy it as a special treat. But pineapple is highly acidic, and for seniors dealing with acid reflux, gastritis, or weakened tooth enamel, it can be particularly harsh. Moreover, pineapple contains high amounts of bromelain, an enzyme that may interfere with blood-thinning medications like warfarin. A study published in Phytomedicine noted that bromelain can increase bleeding risk when consumed in large quantities, especially when combined with certain drugs. For someone with sensitive digestion or compromised dental health, pineapple can cause more harm than good. It may be delicious going down, but the discomfort or danger it leaves behind is simply not worth it. The third fruit is mango. Mangoes, the pride of many cultures, especially in the summer. But mangoes have a very high glycemic index. That means they cause a rapid rise in blood sugar levels. For seniors who are pre-diabetic or already managing type 2 diabetes, eating mangoes can send blood glucose soaring. According to a study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Metabolism, even moderate consumption of high glycemic fruits can lead to insulin resistance over time in older adults. And let me remind you, managing blood sugar is not just about avoiding diabetes. It is also about protecting your kidneys, your vision, your nerves, and your heart. A sweet mango today may lead to diabetic complications tomorrow. It's a gamble that isn't worth taking. Fourth, I must talk about bananas. Now, I know this one will be difficult for many. Bananas are often seen as the go-to snack for quick energy and potassium. But for seniors, especially those with kidney issues, bananas can be dangerous. You see, as kidney function declines, which it naturally does with age, our ability to filter out excess potassium is compromised. A medium banana contains around 422 milligrams of potassium. That may not sound like much, but when combined with a diet already rich in potassium and possibly potassium-sparing medications, it can tip the balance. Hyperkalemia, or high potassium in the blood, can cause muscle weakness, heart palpitations, and even cardiac arrest. The National Kidney Foundation warns seniors with any signs of reduced kidney function to monitor their potassium intake very carefully. And bananas, though soft and easy to eat, might not be the wise choice we thought they were. Let me now speak about cherries. These little fruits are tempting. They are small, vibrant, and often associated with antioxidants, but cherries are very high in natural sugars. Just 1 cup of sweet cherries contains over 17 grams of sugar. Moreover, they can have a laxative effect for some individuals, especially when eaten in quantity. I once had a patient in her late 70s who began eating cherries every night, thinking they were helping her joints. Within weeks, she was battling bloating, stomach upset, and irregular bowel movements. A study in Appetite Journal noted that older adults with slower digestion and sensitive guts can react unpredictably to certain fruit sugars, particularly in cherries, apples, and pears. While occasional cherries in small amounts may be harmless, regularly indulging in them, especially if you are on a sugar-restricted diet, can be a slow path to digestive distress. The 6th fruit on this list is watermelon. It is refreshing and hydrating, yes, but it is also made up of more than 90% water and natural sugar. For seniors taking diuretics or dealing with incontinence, consuming large amounts of watermelon can worsen bladder control and increase nighttime urination, disrupting sleep. And sleep, my friends, is as vital to longevity as diet or exercise. Moreover, because of its high sugar content, watermelon can cause spikes in blood glucose. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition classifies watermelon as having a glycemic index of over 72. That is quite high. Combined with its diuretic effect, it can cause dehydration and fatigue if not managed properly. And now I come to the final fruit, the one I consider the most dangerous for seniors, the one that, in my honest and heartfelt opinion, you should avoid altogether. It is dried fruit. Yes, raisins, dried apricots, prunes, dates, figures. They may seem innocent. They may be marketed as healthy snacks, but dried fruits are sugar bombs in disguise. When fruits are dried, the water is removed, but the sugars remain, and they become concentrated. A handful of raisins contains the sugar of several whole grapes. A few dates can have over 20 grams of sugar. Even worse, many dried fruits are coated in additional sugar or sulfites, which can irritate the stomach, spike blood sugar, and cause allergic reactions. The Harvard School of Public Health has cautioned against regular dried fruit consumption in older adults, especially those managing diabetes, hypertension, or weight. Dried fruits also stick to the teeth, feeding bacteria and increasing the risk of dental decay, a serious concern for seniors whose oral health may already be fragile. I've had patients come in with blood sugar crashes, dental issues, and bloating, all because they were eating just a few dried fruits a day. The truth is, they are far more harmful than they appear. So my dear ones, I say this not to frighten you, but to empower you. Food choices matter more as we age. Our resilience isn't what it once was, and that's not a weakness. That's wisdom. Our bodies speak more clearly now. They tell us what works and what doesn't. All we have to do is listen. Fruits are not evil, but they are not all safe either. What may be fine for a 30-year-old could be harmful for a 70-year-old. That is the reality of aging. It demands discernment. It demands understanding. I want you to eat well, live long, and feel strong. That begins by respecting what your body needs now, not what it used to need. When you go to the grocery store, when you reach for a snack, when someone offers you a bowl of fruit salad, remember what we've discussed. Grapefruit, pineapple, mango, banana, cherries, watermelon, and dried fruits. They are not forbidden, but they are not safe in the way we once believed. Especially dried fruits. Let that be the one you leave behind for good. Choose low glycemic fruits like berries, apples in moderation, or pears. Prioritize hydration and balanced meals. Work with your doctor or dietitian if you are unsure. Every bite is a choice, and every choice is a chance to protect your health, your mind, and your longevity. You deserve nothing less. Thank you for listening with your heart. Stay well, stay wise, and above all, stay kind to the body that has carried you this far. Are there any natural fruit alternatives that won't harm my kidneys or heart? Let me begin by saying this. If you've ever felt confused about what fruits are truly safe for you as you grow older, you are not alone. I have seen many seniors wrestle with this question. On one hand, we've been told all our lives that fruits are a part of a healthy diet. On the other hand, many older adults start experiencing problems with their kidneys, blood pressure, and heart function. Suddenly, the very foods that once seemed like a symbol of health can quietly turn into risks. So today, let's talk clearly and kindly about what fruits you can enjoy without harming your kidneys or your heart. This is not about restriction. This is about wise choices, thoughtful choices, the kind of choices that give you energy, not fear, and most importantly, the kind of choices that support your life, not limit it. Now you may be wondering, Doctor, is it even safe to eat fruit if I have heart issues or kidney disease? And the answer is yes, but not just any fruit. You see, the kidneys are delicate filters. They do a remarkable job of removing waste and balancing minerals like potassium and phosphorus. But as we age, these filters can become less efficient. If potassium levels become too high, which often happens with fruits like bananas or oranges, the heart can suffer. Irregular rhythms, muscle weakness, even heart failure can develop when potassium isn't handled well. That is why we must be cautious. Not fearful, but cautious. The good news is, there are fruits that are gentle on the kidneys and heart, fruits that provide nutrients without overwhelming your body's natural systems. Let's begin with blueberries. These small berries are among the safest and most beneficial fruits for older adults. They are low in potassium and sugar, and they contain a rich amount of antioxidants called anthocyanins. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition showed that regular blueberry consumption helped improve blood vessel function and reduced blood pressure in adults over 60. Another research paper in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry found that blueberries could reduce oxidative stress in kidney cells, making them a wise choice for anyone with early signs of kidney strain. Blueberries support circulation, protect memory, and do not spike blood sugar. And most importantly, they are kind to the heart. Another wonderful option is the humble apple. Especially when eaten with the skin, apples offer fiber, vitamin C, and pectin, a type of fiber that helps lower cholesterol levels. Apples are low in potassium and phosphorus, making them safe for kidneys. A study published in the Clinical Nutrition Journal showed that daily apple consumption was linked to a slower decline in kidney function among older adults. Additionally, apples support weight control and healthy digestion, and unlike many other fruits, they have a low glycemic load, meaning they will not flood your bloodstream with sugar all at once. For those managing heart conditions, stable blood sugar is one of the most important protections you can have. Pears, especially fresh and ripe ones, are another excellent alternative. Pears are naturally low in sodium and potassium, and they are gentle on the stomach. They are also high in fiber, which is essential for regulating cholesterol and supporting gut health. According to a study in the American Heart Association Journal, diets high in fiber-rich fruits like pears were linked to a significant reduction in the risk of stroke and heart attack among people over 70. Pears also contain flavonoids, natural compounds that reduce inflammation in blood vessels. Inflammation, as we now understand, is at the root of many chronic diseases, including heart disease and kidney decline. A soft, juicy pear may seem simple, but its effect on your internal health is powerful. Next, let me talk to you about strawberries. I know many seniors shy away from berries because they believe they are too sweet, but strawberries, when eaten fresh and not dipped in sugar or syrup, are actually quite low in natural sugar and potassium. A clinical trial at the University of Oklahoma found that older adults who consumed strawberries daily showed improvements in blood pressure and arterial flexibility. These benefits are critical because as we age, the elasticity of our blood vessels naturally declines. Strawberries help preserve that flexibility. They also support the production of nitric oxide, which widens blood vessels and improves circulation. For those managing both kidney concerns and cardiovascular issues, strawberries are one of the rare fruits that offer safety and strength together. Cranberries, especially when eaten fresh or as unsweetened juice in small amounts, can also be a blessing for your kidneys. Cranberries are well known for their role in preventing urinary tract infections, which can become dangerous when they reach the kidneys. But even beyond that, research published in Kidney International Reports found that compounds in cranberries helped reduce protein buildup in the kidneys, which is a common sign of early kidney damage. Just be cautious with store-bought cranberry products, as many are loaded with added sugars. When prepared properly, cranberries can be a preventative ally in your daily routine. Another safe and heart-friendly fruit is the plum. Plums are lower in potassium than many other fruits and contain helpful antioxidants and vitamin C. A study published in Food and Function showed that plums may help reduce markers of inflammation in people with high cholesterol. Inflammation, again, is a major player in both heart disease and kidney stress. Just be sure to eat fresh plums and avoid dried ones like prunes, which are too concentrated in sugar for most older adults. Last but not least, the watermelon, yes, even watermelon, when consumed in very modest portions, can be safe. It is over 90% water, and when you are well hydrated, your kidneys are under less pressure. But moderation is key. 1 or 2 small slices during the summer can hydrate without overwhelming your sugar levels or mineral balance. A study from the American Journal of Hypertension found that L-citrulline, a compound in watermelon, helped reduce blood pressure in older adults. But remember, more is not better. Watermelon should be a treat, not a staple, especially if you are on blood sugar or fluid restrictions. So yes, there are natural fruit alternatives that will not harm your kidneys or your heart. You do not have to give up all fruits, but you do need to choose wisely. The fruits I have shared with you today, blueberries, apples, pears, strawberries, cranberries, plums, and occasionally watermelon, have shown in multiple studies to support the aging body rather than strain it. What they all have in common is that they are lower in sugar, lower in potassium, high in antioxidants, and gentle on your system. These are fruits that love your body back. And isn't that what we all deserve at this stage in life? It is never about eating perfectly. It is about eating purposefully. And when you choose fruits that respect your heart and kidneys, you are choosing to live with greater ease, fewer complications, and more joy. I know the journey of aging is not always easy, but with every good choice you make, every bite that brings you closer to health, you are writing a better story for yourself. One full of strength, one full of care, and one full of days you can truly enjoy.